Music! I love doing that. It's so cool. Hey, I'm Michael Edward, creator of How to Crush Your Mental Blocks, which is a course that teaches you how to identify and remove the mental blocks that's keeping you stuck, stopping you from reaching your level of success. Hey, my friend, I am Michael Edward. Today we are talking about 7 steps to a productive ego. All right. If you are still struggling in reaching your highest level of success, it's probably because you do not have a well-developed ego. You must have a well-developed ego, and it will serve you throughout your whole life. All right. If you have a lack of ego, you have self-doubt. You're hanging around basically the wrong kind of people for the life that you want to lead, and you're just lacking in all that confidence and all that kind of good stuff. All right. And that's the struggle. That's what's keeping you locked in to where you are. Now, you don't want an overdeveloped ego, obviously. You don't want to become an egotist where you're just obnoxious and you're offensive to people and all that kind of stuff. And frankly, I believe that most people that are like that are hiding insecurities. All right. So we're not going to swing too far that way. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And, I met one of my heroes some years ago. And I went to a Brendan Burchard seminar. And I met this man. I observed him on stage for 3 days, 4 days, whatever it was. And the power he puts out, the energy he gives away, is just exciting. It's phenomenal. The guy he loves teaching. He loves helping people. He loves leading them down the path. Okay. And if you've never met him before, look him up. He's just absolutely phenomenal. And at the end of the whole thing, when everybody was gone, there was me and Brendan on the empty stage now. Nobody in the audience, just a couple of his staff still around. And it was him and I. I got a picture of him and I together. I don't know where the picture is. I'm blind. Come on, give me a break. Can't keep track of photos. But the thing is that when I was walking towards him, he reached out and he took my hand and he turned me so we were facing the camera and everything. And somehow along the way, we ended up with our arms around each other's shoulders. And I'm a pretty big guy. I'm just about 6 foot and 180 pounds, whatever. But he's a small guy. And I knew he was a small guy because people had described him to me. And I'm like, all of this energy and everything coming out of this small body, it was just phenomenal. It was just phenomenal. He was huge, man, in this small body. But what really touched me was we went into this like almost a cuddle or a huddle where it was just the two of us. There was nobody else. Nobody interrupted us. Nobody walked towards us. And we were talking softly to each other. It was a very intimate moment, if you can put it that way. And one of the things that I realized is what a magnificent person he was and is, and how we just met, and it was very impacting on me. It's like, this is what I want to give to people. I want to give them my energy. I want to give them my love. I want to give them help, advice, I want to be him. Only a little taller. And it was really magnificent. And when I walked away from him, I turned and I said to him, I had him laughing. I was telling him some story rather, and when I walked away and I stopped, I turned back to him and I said, "Hey, Brendan." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Remember, you're going to see me somewhere sooner or later again." And he says, "Michael, I have no doubt." So obviously we were talking about I was going to be very successful as well. Anyway, he has no ego, negative ego. He is a self-made man. He is worth millions of dollars. He has touched millions of lives. He has everything that a person in that field could ever desire. and there is just no ego about him. He is very humble. He's very kind. He's very giving. All right. And I just thought that he was a terrific role model for this subject of 7 Steps to a Productive Ego. All right. He personifies all of it. I mean, just wonderful. And I hope I do too. I mean, that's my goal, is to develop an ego that is productive and kind and all the rest of that good stuff. All right. So let's get into these steps. All right. This is where I want to teach you how to develop a productive ego. Step number 1 is form a mastermind. Now, form a mastermind relationship is a full title. Now, the thing is about a mastermind, I think, is a term that's way overused today. I think we've watered it down so much that we've lost the actual intent and the actual meaning of what a mastermind truly is. Because everybody that's, selling anything online says that join our mastermind group. And I don't believe that's a mastermind group, because a mastermind group is this. It is one or more people, it could be many people, who come together for a common purpose, an absolute established common purpose. It is specific. All right? So I belong to 2 or 3 different groups. I do not refer to them or think of them in terms of masterminds. I think of them more as like-minded. And I think that's an accurate description. I belong to one that has to do with the, Kajabi, which is the web program that I use. We're all like-minded. We're all working to figure out how to put together the best page and how to use the links and, all the emails and all that stuff. That's like-minded. A mastermind would be if I sat down with a person or a group of people around the table and we were working on a specific site, and we wanted that site to be absolutely, tremendously successful, and there was no doubt in our minds. We came together for that single purpose. All right? And I'm afraid that we've watered down the term mastermind. But ratchet mastermind up. Get into a mastermind relationship with one or more people. And what happens there is when you combine 2 brains rather than just one in a single purpose, in a well-established specific purpose, the energy is not double. It is many, many times stronger. So can you imagine if you had a big boardroom with 20 people around the table for a single purpose to making a business profitable or whatever the purpose may be, how powerful that would be. Everybody is on the same page. Everybody is working and thinking only of making this business successful. So ideas would flow. I mean, my God, this would be, very, very, very powerful. So let us think in our heads about the difference between like-minded and mastermind. Like-mind is a group of people who are similar in nature, but are not absolutely specific on the same thing, okay? And that's what I think is the biggest difference there. All right? So you want to form a mastermind with whatever purpose it is. And it does not have to be a website or a business or whatever. It could be a goal in life. It could be, raising the most wonderful children. If you and your spouse are on the absolute same page and you're discussing things and you're really excited about it, man, those kids are going to be, really have a really good start. Yeah, I mean, rather than one parent being a little wishy-washy and the other parent being too strict and all that stuff, right? You know what I'm talking about. So no matter what it is that you want to do, form a mastermind. Okay? Number 2 is plan of action. Now, when you have a mastermind and you develop a plan of action, whether you have a mastermind or not, you have to have a plan of action. The plan of action is, my notes are sliding around on me here. The plan of action is there to direct you from where you are now to where you want to be in a straight line. Okay, it's the fastest way of getting to where you are to where you want to be. You have to have that plan. All right, no plan, you're going to be drifting about, you're going to be misdirected, and so on and so on and so on. Now, the thing with the plan of action is that no matter what you write down as your plan of action, very, very likely it's going to change along the way. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, if you fail, then you change the plan of action and you attack it again. All right? So be open to changing the plan of action as long as it's going to get you to your end result, your end goal, your end dream. Okay? So you have to have that plan of action. Number 3 is avoid negative people. Man, if you've been following me for any length of time, I've talked about this over and over and over. Negative people will crush you. It will crush your ego. Your ego cannot grow in the shadow of negativity. All right? It just will not grow in the shadow of negativity. Can't. Right? Negativity is the thing that crushes us. That's where the self-doubt comes from. That's where our limiting beliefs come from, is that we believe that we cannot achieve something. All right? And I'm going to be tougher than I usually am on this one. I have made life's decisions. I'm not going to go into what they are because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings and all that kind of stuff, but I've moved on from various relationships and so forth because I had to get away from negativity. It was crushing me. It was stopping me. And you need to adopt that mentality of it doesn't matter whether it's family, friend, blood. Negativity will crush you. And if it is crushing you, you've got to get away from it. There's just no other way around it. All right? They either got to change and stop being so negative, or you got to change and get away from it. All right? So take that very, very seriously. Remove all negativity in regards to reaching your goal, because your ego cannot grow in the shadow of negativity. I love that statement, okay? Ego cannot grow in the shadow of negativity. All right? And number 4 is never think about past failures or previous failures. Previous failures are great as learning tools. Okay? I'm following this plan, I failed, or I'm not following a plan and I failed, but I failed and this is what I got from it. Great, now I'm going to move on. But the trick here is not to dwell on it, don't be thinking about it all the time and say, well, I can't do this because I failed. I can't do this because it didn't work out last time. And anything of a negative emotional sort of connection, you need to get rid of that negative emotion. Until you can get rid of that negative emotion, your ego will not develop. It will not grow. You have to get rid of those negative emotions in order to allow your ego to grow and become what it needs to in order for you to reach your highest level of success. All right? And if you haven't seen the blog, click on the link and read the blog, because I've got some links in there that will be helpful for you. I have a link on Advanced Relaxation, which is my Top It Out program. And in there, I teach you how to get rid of some of the emotional stuff that's around, or you can actually work with me one-on-one if you choose to. But either way, whatever you decide to do, you have to get rid of that negativity. You cannot hang on to it, because it will stop you. It will block you. All right. Number 5 is success room. I love this concept. A success room is the room in which you work or you spend a lot of time in. You want to turn that into your success room. What the success room is it's loaded with everything that has to do with your dream. If there's something that you have photos of, if you want to live in a big house and all that kind of lifestyle, then put up pictures of things that represent the lifestyle that you want to achieve. Okay? If you're looking at being incredibly healthy, vibrant, then take photos of people who are incredibly vibrant and in phenomenal shape. All right? Have books around you that lead you to your success. Have anything, awards, accolades that you've won to remind you that, feed your ego with this stuff. That, yes, I've been successful before, I could be successful again. Even if it's something completely different, I don't care. If you were successful once, you can repeat that in a different area. Of course you can. Why not? Right? So have a success room. Load that sucker up with all kinds of things that help remind you of ego boosting type stuff, if you want me to put it that way. All right, stroke the ego, let it grow. And that takes us to number 6, is control your ego. Okay? Control your ego. And what I'm talking about here is not too much and not too little. If you think about it in that terms, your ego will always be fine. Where people lose control is when they've reached a high level of success. Let's talk about, an entertainer, actor, because you probably know of some who came from nothing and they grew into this, really successful actress or performer or singer, and they have huge amounts of money and they've got huge followings, and they turn into a complete jerk. And they get into drugs, they get into booze, they get into lifestyles that is not conducive to their being successful and happy. All right? It's because they lost control of their ego. They went down the road of too much. All right? Too much partying, too much drifting, too much sideline, too much everything. I'm not saying that you don't want to reach a high level of success and have, gazillion dollars or whatever that means to you, whatever success means to you. Of course I want you to have all that. But you want to keep control of your ego so that you don't end up losing everything. Because I think this is a big stage of where people reach a high level of success and then they lose it all, or they're not happy, is because they lose control of their ego. All right? I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to keep your reins tight on the ego in order that you can reach a high level of success and maintain it for your whole life. All right? And part of that is just being very determined, being very strict with yourself, and seeing things for the way they are. Okay? Number 7 is ego is constantly changing. This is sort of an extension of the last point we were talking about. As you progress, your ego will change. Not only do you need to keep control of your ego, but you also need to keep an eye on things. If you remain humble and appreciative, then you will not go wrong. All right? Because you don't want to become the monster, the egotistic, monster that nobody wants to be around. And then you only have people hanging around you because you're successful. Right? And I can tell you stories about that. I've been backstage with a very famous musician friend of mine, and believe me, it was just stunning how, girls and so on would behave. It was appalling, really. It's what it was. So it's really easy to let your ego, get out of control. And as it changes, you need to remind yourself who you are, what you're all about, and really get it down so that you, as your ego constantly changes, you are able to keep the reins in and be who you want to be, not become the egotistic jerk. Okay? And one of the things that I remind myself all the time, you've seen it in all of my videos, all of my Facebook posts, is right there. Michael Edward, enjoy, love, succeed. Those 3 words are key to me. Enjoy, love, succeed. I want to enjoy life. I don't want to abuse it. I want to love and give love, receive love, right? Just like Brendan did to me. And I want to succeed. And when you figure that out, when you have those 3 words, that's going to take you a long way for your ego. Okay? And developing a very positive, productive ego. All right? I hope this serves you, my friend. I hope you enjoy this information. I hope you've written notes down and you've you apply this stuff, right? Because it's no good if you don't apply it. You want to apply it, build that productive ego, reach your highest level of success, and make sure you check out the blog because I've got some links in there for you. And there's, the written word is often better than the verbal word. So I hope you enjoy the blog. I hope you apply it. Everything's all written out there for you. So I want you to go out there, enjoy every day, love as much as you can, and succeed. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, please like it, share it. Click on that subscribe button, click on that bell icon to adjust your notifications so you'll never miss another video from me again. In the description, there's links including mepersonaldevelopment.com where we help you reach your highest level of success.